see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning and welcome to episode 839 of the Lots Project Morning Show, where the coffee is strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter free. I'm Brian, your host, and it's May 19th, 2025. This morning I'm enjoying a fresh cup of medium light Costa Rican from foodforestfarms.com because life's too short for shitty coffee. At Food Forest Farms, your beans are roasted by real human hands using a clean Airstream roaster. More than just a customer, your family. Get 10% off with code LOTS10, LOTS10. That's LOTS10. And shipping is always free. While you're there, check out the C4 Club for even more awesome perks. Today, we've got a packed show again. A great friend drops by Delinquents Gully. We'll talk about what we got done and why I enjoy those visits so much. I'll share a GoFundMe that I just launched because, why not? A preview of some awesome solar gadgets in the review queue and positive momentum on both the table that we're building and the truck. So grab your coffee, smash the like button, and let's get started. First things first, I'm using a new service here. I shouldn't say new service, a new app, application that friend, and it's the same thing over on zap.stream. Interesting. I don't know why my zap.stream says I'm live and then it doesn't show up. But anyway, Jim, is that what you're seeing? Good morning, Jim. I see you there in the YouTube comments. And Mike's Homestead, good morning. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. Sorry about the delay. I need to dig into this on a separate occasion, but it says I'm live and just no video. I don't know what to do about that. Anyway. All right, you can see me live there. All right, well. Oh, there it is. Popping up a little delayed. Maybe it's because, okay, Rod. Maybe it's because of the app delay. Interesting. Anyway, we're going to roll with it. I got a show to do. Anyway, we'll leave that rolling. Maybe it'll work and maybe it won't. Rod says you can see me. I'm using this Show app. SHO is a mobile app to go live on Noster. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, good morning. It's another week. We're back again. Corey is actually off of work. She's on vacation for the week. And so she'll be coming back with the dog here. Schedules are a little messed up than normal, and it'll be interesting. We got a nice week planned. She's got to do a little work, always working, and she'll be working on her vacation for a little bit. Don't worry, she'll get the hours back, but she has to do a little work today, but then tomorrow we're going to be running up to Jackson. We're going to pick up a compound miter saw for helping with some woodworking projects that we have coming up. Corey is definitely all in on the woodworking. I'll be talking about the table build a little later. We've been diving in and have some other projects that we are going to work on, and so we're going to pick up a better sauce to assist with that, since we've built everything we've had with a palm sander, a screw gun, and a circular saw at this point, and just make life easier. So we got that, and then we're also going to take another road trip later in the week. We're gonna swing down to Muscle Shoals, Alabama, where we can find some untreated 4x4s. It's about the closest place we can go to find untreated 4x4s So we decided it's only about an hour and a half away, so we're going to run down and grab a pile of those. And so, like I said, we got a couple of projects coming up, and we'll buy enough materials for a few things and start working on that. And I will put off the update on the table for later. Anyway, Food Forest Farms, I got my C4 should be here today. I was looking at the tracking number. It shows up today. Right now, I'm drinking a medium light Costa Rican, and I'm excited to see what's coming in the package. I'm hoping there's some light roasts in there. I don't know if Jim's still not seeing me. Bummer. I'm seeing your comments in the app, so that's working. Over on Noster, I last month Brian was nice enough. Brian was nice enough to send me a bunch of small samples of some darks and some medium darks, and I was going to do some individual blends in the AeroPress. And man, I dove into the light Ethiopian. I love that stuff so much. And then this medium light Costa Rican was just hitting the spot, and man, I just plowed through it. I just kept plowing through the hey Jim, thanks for the zap. I just kept plowing through the light roasts, and I never ended up blending. But if there's some light roasts in the mix today, I will, or when I pick it up today, I'll definitely try some of those micro blends, and that should be fun. So Food Forest Farms, Mike's Homestead got his C4 on Saturday. It's a fantastic deal, and coffee's about ready to go parabolic, guys. The price of coffee, if you know a guy, and maybe you're talking to a guy and realize that the price of wholesale beans is going through the roof, and it's only going to trickle into the coffee market. So lock in your coffee price with the C4 Club. You can find it at foodforestfarms.com. If you're over on Noster, Rod says it's coming through on Amethyst. Just great. If you're over there, Brian does take Bitcoin. So just head on over to foodforestfarms.com and send him a message and sign up for the C4 Club. We'd be happy to join you. We would be happy if you join us, I guess. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, other than that, another announcement at the beginning here. I have the Amazon banner at the homepage, thelotsproject.com. The Lots, LOTS project.com. Right up, I bumped the Amazon banner up to the top, and that's an easy way to support the show, support me, support what Corey and I are doing here in Tennessee currently. If you're going to be shopping on Amazon, you can swing to thelotsproject.com instead. Instead of going to amazon.com, you hit that banner and it will open the app. If you're on your phone, it will open a website. It'll open the website on if you are on desktop, and that gets you in my affiliate tracking, and anything you buy in that shopping trip, I'll get a little credit for. Earns a little bit. Man, it's like 3% commission, I think. At no additional cost to you. That goes into my account, and I appreciate that. So instead of going to Amazon.com or clicking on that app, make a little homepage shortcut to thelotsproject.com, and instead of hitting that Amazon button, hit that button, go there and click. It's one extra click, and it does a heck of a lot of good. So I appreciate if you guys would do that. And I moved it right up to the top, so it's above the fold and easy to find. You don't even have to scroll. So just click thelotsproject.com, click that Amazon banner, and start your Amazon shopping there. Let's get to it. Let me see. Let me get my notes here. Anyway, this past week, it's been busy. I got a ton of products in the mail to do some reviews on. I also had a visit out at Delinquents Gully. Got prepped up for that early in the week, and then my friend Carrie Brown came to the Gully on, I guess it was Wednesday night. So Carrie came across the state. He's over in Knoxville. We're on the 3/4 of the way across the state, and and he came over to go to Special Operations Equipment. John Willis, Amanda Willis, up in Camden, Tennessee. They're about an hour straight north of us. He was doing some work for them. He was installing a hop growing operation there for John and Amanda. And so while he was making the trip over here, he decided that he was going to spend a night at Delinquents Gully and then a day out there with me and do some stuff. And yeah, we were going to go out to dinner on Wednesday. He ran into some problems up at SOE and had to call that off. He ended up spending the night and making a trip back in the morning. So we got he got down to DG about, I don't know, it was late morning, mid morning, and met him out there, and we got a lot done. We got some hops planted. we started some hops out there, and we scoped out an interesting spot for laying out. I kind of talked about it last week. An interesting setup for doing some hops. We're going to non-traditionally kind of run it across this big slope. I think this is where it's going to end up. It looks like it'll work if we can get the infrastructure set up. But the food forest is down in the bottom of the property, right at the front of the property on the, I guess that would be the south end of the property. And right at the border of the food forest, and why we stopped where it is, like the total area is because of this huge slope. The whole property has a bunch of huge slopes, but this in particular, there's a big steep slope, and it's all cleared out. The last work day we had out there last fall, Dylan from I believe it's Red Tail Forestry over there in Knoxville. If you need somebody to cut down some trees, definitely look up Dylan. When we cut there was some dead trees. There were a few other trees. When we cut them all down, this big slope is like this big open swath straight up the hill. And we were looking at it, and it's about wide enough that if we climb up the trees on either side, so there's like a row of trees on either side making this wide opening. And if we can take, there's a couple of solid trees, and we're going to attach some pulleys to two of the trees and run a guy line across the slope, whether it be at a 90 across the slope or even up a little bit. And then under the path of that guy line, we're going to build almost like a fake raised bed, use some deadfall, make a border, fill it in with organic material. And then these hops that we started down in the food forest, we just put them in the ground for this trip, just to get them a little established, and then we'll propagate out of there. And that was really the intention with the food forest in general. Was it's going to produce food. We got a ton of fruit trees in there, which are all doing great. We'll talk about that in a second. But the main intent was as a propagation area for the rest of the property, for selling other plants locally or shipping them. And so we got a bunch of hops. Carrie brought hops that we got in the ground. We got started that we'll be able to use to propagate up into the system, and then if we end up doing it somewhere else on the property too. But just looking at it, it will really be an interesting experiment, because we were looking at the sun path, and this time of year is appropriate. I mean, it's only going to get a little higher in the sky, and then by the time the hops are done, it's not going to fall down too much on the horizon. But looking at the sun, it'll be like a shade screen, but it won't shade out the food forest. It won't shade out the things in the food forest that we want to get sun. So it'll be high enough up on this slope. And then the other nice part about it is the path that we've already cut up to our cabin site runs directly behind this area that we're going to run the hops across. So we'll be able to access it from below and above, depending on how we want to cut the paths and to get to it. So that was fun. We sat around in it for a minute and got those hops planted and kind of brainstormed where to put it. And this just made sense. So basically, I got to find somebody to climb up in the trees and mount those pulleys, or I'll end up doing it. But I'm not a huge fan of climbing up in the trees, especially I would never even really like to climb up in tree stand 20 feet up in the air to hunt deer. So, but if I have to, I will I'll make it happen to get these pulleys set up, but then run those guy lines and put enough slack at each base that once they're up there, other than maintenance on the pulleys, if something breaks or replacing the line, we'll just be able to untie the bases and drop everything right down to the ground. And then when we're done working on it, whether it's tying the jute cord to it or harvesting the hops, we'll be able to hoist that line right back up and tie them off the bottom of the tree. So it'll be a one time aerial show. So we'll find somebody to climb up in those trees. I know enough tree cutters here in Tennessee that somebody will just swing right up there and no problem get that mounted up. But that'll be an interesting experiment. We're gonna work on that over the summer. Other than that, Carrie brought a bunch of elderberry cuttings, and so we stuck those in, got those started along one of the paths that we have cut in, and then we also identified a new guild area. He had already marked an area very close to this, and when I was cutting in a main artery, a main path through the property, I was going to run right into this area that he had marked for possibly installing a small guild on the property. So we have a main food forest. Carrie also marked out several different places to try different experiments, different microclimates, different sun exposures, different shade, different moisture retention, just different little areas that we were going to do some experiments. Well, one of those was right in the pathway that I cut through, and so I just shifted it up the hill a little bit. Same sun exposure, same kind of soil, everything. Just shifted it up a little bit. Well, when we were out there and installing all these elderberry cuttings along the path, I was like, hey, this is where you're going to do that guild. This is one of the places you're marked. And so we made a plan. We took and planted the elderberries and then left about a 10-foot gap. So that's it's like a walkway up into this open area, which will be on the sun side of a hedgerow of elderberries. And so I got marching orders. I guess I gave myself marching orders to get a bunch of stuff cleared out of there. It's relatively clear already. Lots of deadfall there, so lots of decomposing tree matter and carbon material. The soil looks really nice. So we'll get that cleaned up, and we might start a comfrey patch in there. I'm not sure what. Comfrey's coming in good this year, and it'll be nice to have that biomass. I did a comfrey install earlier in the season around all the fruit trees. They're all coming in great. But yeah, so we got those elderberries planted along the path. Carrie says if we get 2% of those to take, we'll have more elderberries than we know what to do with. So excited for that, and it'll make a nice hedgerow and almost like a little tunnel to walk down on the path. So we planted the hops, we planted the elderberries, and then we spent a bit of time in the food forest identifying plants that have developed, whether it be plants that we installed during the food forest install, seeds that have come in that were thrown out and dispersed during the food forest install. And then also native plants that were there that have come in. This spring, I kind of let it go. There was quite a bit of time that we couldn't get out there because of the rain. The road was all soft and everything, and then also I didn't want to, you want to give time for stuff to grow enough that it makes it worth running a string trimmer in there if I'm going to trim things up. So with all the rain, then the heat hit, everything just kind of exploded. And so I started getting in there and started cleaning things up. And I realized I wasn't sure in the inside of the food forest. And I should probably get videos of all this stuff and post them. But I trimmed with the string trimmer around the edges of the planting area on the entrance in, got some cardboard down, And then I stopped, and I knew Carrie was coming out, and I said, well, why don't we take some time, we'll walk through, kind of identify what some things are, what I really need to watch out, what we want to keep growing, and what needs to be pulled out. And it's going to be a lot more tedious. It's going to be a lot more time intensive to go in and manually pull a lot of the stuff out. But that's what we're going to do. And so Carrie and I spend a lot of time identifying the plants that we want there. And like I said, it was a nice mix of stuff that we put in the ground, a lot of herbs that Carrie put in the ground as plants. And we were seeing a bunch of stuff that we threw seed out and just kind of spread the seed randomly throughout the area. And then also identified some beautyberry and some purple passion flower. Good morning, Seattle. Good morning, Seattle. Some purple passion flower, some vining stuff, and then a lot of stuff that needs to be pulled out and taken care of. So goal with that area is to get everything pulled out that we don't want there, and start scrounging more cardboard up from the Mexican restaurant downtown, and have the whole growing area of the food forest laid out in cardboard by the end of the summer. That's my goal. So help suppress the stuff we don't want. So identifying those things, we flagged a lot more stuff. There was a lot of stuff flagged from fall. Corey did a great job putting flags in with the plants that we wanted to keep safe and identify as they grew. So it was a great trip with Carrie. I really appreciate when he comes out. We spent a lot of time doing productive things, and then also a lot of time catching up because we don't get to see each other that much since he's over on the other side of the state. When he makes it over here, I really like the conversation. Carrie's a really solid dude, and really enjoy my time hanging out with him. So if you don't know Carrie, definitely look him up. Strong Roots Resources. You can find him on Facebook and YouTube at all sorts of events. He's going to be speaking, or he's going to have a booth, I believe, at the Back to the Land Festival. No, Exit and Build. I don't know. Something at Polyface Farms here this upcoming weekend. I'm not sure. It was going to be up there. So when you get a chance, check out Carrie Brown. Why am I flashing there? Is this my internet's not working very well today, maybe? But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Strong Roots Resources. Check out Carrie. He does a great job. He will treat you right, especially in that Knoxville, Tennessee area. Allergies, guys. Pollen is absolutely blowing up. Jim says, all I can see are the notes, no video. I'm going to try turning it off and turning it on again. And says it's choppy on zap.stream, but not video on my Amethyst on Android. Anyway, back to the show. And Jim says I'm freezing up. Of course I am. Of course. It is what it is. Is it raining out? Like thunderstorms?
No, it was just sprinkling.
Oh, whatever. So that was the Delinquents Gully update. With that, let's talk about the Lever Gear Tool Card Pro and the KT Clip. Father's Day presents. Father's Day is coming up, guys. If you need to get something for your dad, you need to get your kids something to give their dad, or you just want a present for yourself because you're a dad. Father's Day coming up fast. Don't be the one grabbing gas station socks at the last minute. I don't know what that's all about. But the go-to gear to pick up this year, the Lever Gear Tool Card Pro or the KT Clip. These rugged everyday carry tools fit right in your wallet or clip on your keys, and they're actually useful. Screwdrivers, wrenches, bottle openers, you name it. If you're shopping for dad or for yourself, head over to the link. I'll drop it in the comments, or you can find it in the show notes. Boom, there it is in the comments. But I also have reviews over at thelotsproject.com under product reviews. They're great. They are not going to says I can't post it to Facebook. Weird. I'm trying to go to Facebook since I was using the Show app to send to Zapdrop Stream. I had an extra opening and I'm trying to send it to Facebook again. We'll see. Yeah. Facebook and me just don't get along. I do have reviews over at the website. The Tool Card Pro, it's not going to replace your multi-tool. It's not going to replace your pliers, things like that. But for something that you can use as a money clip, and I had it right here. There it is. There it is. Something that you can use as a money clip or pop that money clip off and throw it in your wallet. It's handy. It's got 40 tools in it. They're little stuff, like I said, bottle openers, little screwdrivers, things like that. Things you're going to want when you need them, and you're like, shit. And then you reach in your pocket and you have it. And with that functionality as a money clip, it's great. The KT clip I showed last week. I actually have it on my keys somewhere. I don't have it right here, but that's a smaller tool, and it clips. It's like a keychain, and then it's got like a bit holder and a Phillips and a straight blade, a little pry bar, and things like that. So both of these come in under $20, so they're great gifts from kids, and you should check them out today at the link in the comments or down in the video description, the audio description, or wherever you're checking it out. Or you can always go, like I said, to lotsproject.com and find it in the reviews. Good Morning Seattle is asking about the pole light review. I posted a blog post about that and a quick video. I'm doing some testing. I left it out at the property for carry as a light, and I didn't, when I went out there on Thursday, I didn't grab it. I left it out there. And then I didn't make it out there this weekend. Corey and I were working on things here. I'm going to grab it today when I go out to grab my coffee, and I'm going to do some testing on it still. I want to see how long the battery lasts, how long it takes to charge with the solar panels. But I did post, like I said, I posted that blog post. I want to make sure I posted that. But I believe I posted a blog post about the solar, the Jercoda 25,000 lumen cordless work light. I think it's good. It's going to be great. It needs to test out right. I mean, if it only lasts 20 minutes or whatnot, and we can move on to that right now. That's one of the things I had on the list here to talk about. I'm doing testing on the solar recharging work light. So basically, it's an LED work light, pole light, like you would have at most at a job site or if you're working outside. Every single one I've always had was corded, so you had to run an extension cord, and you usually need light because you don't have power. This was kind of ingenious. It was rechargeable LED work light. Came with a stand, extendable stand, went up to about 6 foot. It had 144 LEDs in there with 3 light modes. It was a white light, like a bright white light, and then it had the yellowish warm light, and then a combination of the two. So 3 light modes, and then the kicker was you could charge it with a USB cord, and this is why I'm interested how long the battery lasts. And then the cool part is in the back, you unfold the back of the light, and there's 4 little solar panels. One actually is the back, and then you fold out 3 little tabs, and they're 3 other solar panels. So I had it out when I was doing a quick video on it. It was cloudy out. I opened it up, I set it down, and the light started flashing. So it does take in some light fairly easily. And like I said, I want to go grab it. I want to turn it on, see how long the light lasts until it runs out, how many hours you get out of it, and then throw those panels out and charge it up and see how long it actually takes to charge it up. Because I'm not sure how many watts those panels are. It really didn't say much about that in the Chinese instructions. But solid light. It was bright enough when I turned it on in the daylight that I was like, oh, that's a nice bright work light. And so I can imagine in the dark, it's gonna light things up. So I'm excited to have that out at the property when we're gonna be working on the cabin, or really anywhere. It's nice. Tim's cabin doesn't have power, so we're always using lanterns or our power bank and USB lights and things like that. It'll be nice to have out there a chargeable light that we can flip on and use anywhere we want, and then just charge it back up with the solar panels. So check that blog post out. Check that out over at thelotsproject.com and or the video on the YouTube channel. I'll be doing more reviews on that, like I said, as I test it. Another cool rechargeable solar product that I have that I'm doing some testing on, I'll be doing the full gamut, the blog posts, the videos, and all of that, is a fan. It's like a floor fan, I would say. Metal cage, 12-inch blades, 14-inch cage with a floor stand. And this is it's got 12 speeds on it, rechargeable battery, so it's cordless, and it's got 3 charging options. So it comes with an AC adapter plug-in. It comes with the DC 9-volt or 12-volt, except 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter charger that you can plug in, and then it also comes with a 20-watt solar panel with a huge long cord that charges it. This is it's a fan plus a battery bank, and the instructions say that it lasts anywhere from 5 to 18 hours, I believe. 5 to 18, I think, was the numbers in there. It's got 12 speeds, so the 12 is definitely it moves some air. It moves a significant amount of air. I've been messing around with using it outside here, and the 12 is definitely it moves some air. 6, about halfway, is still a significant amount. I don't know if you'd ever really run it on 1. Maybe just to break some stillness. I don't know. I was trying to think of some alternative applications for this. Good morning, Seattle says tent fan. Absolutely. Camping, working outside. When Corey and I were working on the table the other day, it was absolutely disgusting out. It was so humid. It was about 90 degrees. Sweat just pouring off me. I brought this fan, I put it on the table, and I aimed it up at me and turned it on 12, and it absolutely it cooled me right down enough to keep working a little bit. And so working outside, I'm thinking with the cabin build, if we don't have any climate control or anything like that, in a shed, to suck the hot air out of a shed, like Brian says, a tent for camping. Corey used to do rover dog sitting at this campground when we were back in Minnesota, and we would see people that had plug-in fans outside their camper on the patio, and it was to keep the bugs away mainly. Cool you down a little bit, but these fans were just running in the outside. This would be a good option for that, because then you could move it anywhere you wanted because it doesn't have a cord. And the instructions say from 0 you can plug in the solar panel, and it has enough to run the fan and charge the battery a little bit at a time. But when Carrie and I were sitting there, with the fact that it'll run plugged in with the solar panel, you could almost use it in like a attic vent situation where the panel is mounted outside, the fan is mounted in the window, and it just is on all the time. And if the battery dies, it's off until the sun comes out and kicks it back on. And just alternative situations like that, on off, where you need a constant flow of air. So I think it's going to be good. Like I'm going to do with the floor light, with the LED light. I'm going to run that thing to 0. I'm going to try to charge it up with the DC power, see how long that takes, the AC power, and then that solar panel also, and see how practical it is. It's a great idea. Just like the work light is a great idea, but the practicality of it and the functionality of it in the real world, we'll see. We'll see. They're both relatively cheap or affordable for sure for what they are. So I'm excited about that. Some other things I got in on the testing platform, the testing mail. I got a metal detector in. The company is oh man, this thing is. So the metal detector is pretty cool. I messed around with it a little bit. I posted in the group. I found the cap to a shotgun shell, probably fairly old. Nothing like a treasure or anything, but just messing around with it real quick. It didn't have any instructions in the box, and the ironic part is on the box it says, "Be sure to read the instructions and the hanger card for maximum enjoyment," or something like that. And there were no instructions in there. The even more messed up part is the metal detector they sent me isn't the same as the one that's on the website listing for the product listing that I'm supposed to be reviewing. The display, the buttons are different. The connectors on the shaft of it are different, and the head, the coil, is different shape. So I've been trying to talk with the customer service person that I contacted when they sent me the sample to get this all straightened out. But I think there's a language barrier there. There's also a time zone error, or a time zone difference. So I get a message like when I wake up in the morning, and then they must get it, when I'm asleep. So it's like one message a day back and forth, and the questions that are being asked are tough. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. This is a relatively inexpensive adult child beginner model metal detector, $120, I think. But it obviously works because I found something in the first like 15 minutes I was using it. So that's cool. Messed around with that on the property. What else do I have? Oh, a little dog fence. I have this dog fence that we got. It's like a portable dog fence for RVing. And the main goal of the product they sent me out was this gate that they sell separately that goes under the RV stairs. So you can basically set it up, and the big problem was you couldn't run the fence underneath the RV stairs, and so the dog could sneak out under the stairs. This fence is adjustable. It has bars that you can remove depending on the size of your stairs. It works with a bunch of different sizes. And I was excited to review it. I set it up. I did some videos about it, and for some reason my mic didn't attach to or connect to the phone, so there was no audio. And it was kind of a good thing that it did. I left it set up for a while. I broke it down. I put it back up just to figure out how easy it is. I would not recommend, well, if you're a weekend RVer, this thing was probably all right to pack away. If you were full time, if you were breaking it down, putting it up, breaking it down, I think it would be a royal pain in the ass. I think it'd be good for RVing. I think it would be good for if you have puppies. If you get puppies, my wife has definitely got puppy fever right now, so I can see puppies in our near future at some point. But if you were breeding dogs, if you had puppies, if you had small dogs that just needed a small area, this would be great. And so I was waiting I was going to do the video again, and I looked for a product link, and they weren't available online. And anybody that posts videos and does affiliate sales knows that the majority of your clicks, the majority of your views, unless it goes parabolic at some point, are right when you post the video in the first like 24 hours, 48 hours. I'm like, well, it doesn't make sense to post this video until it's back in stock. You're not going to sell any. I'm not going to sell any. I'm not going to make any money off my effort. And so they were like, okay, yeah, they're supposed to be back in at the end of May, and you can post the video then. Well, in the meantime, Corey and I were looking at it, and the thing had started rusting already. And it had only been a few weeks. And I was like, well, shit, I can't recommend this thing. All the welds were rusty. All the welds were starting to rust. There were dings in the paint. The stakes that hold the little collapsible panels together. One of them bent from like pushing it into the ground. And so I sent a message to the company. They're like, well, this is very unusual. Do you want us to send you another one? I'm like, well, shit, if I got puppies coming at some point, maybe not in the near future, but maybe at some point here, yeah, send me another one because they all expand. You can buy more panels and more panels. So they're sending another one out. We'll see if it rusts as quickly as the other one. If it does, I really can't recommend it, but I will sure as shit use it until it rusts away. So we'll see with that. Also got a little beginner welder. It's actually on sale. It was $89.99 when they sent it out. I was excited to get a welder, even if it was low quality and a beginner style, just for messing around on some projects. Electricity is electricity, but this is a MIG welder and stick welder combo. Right now it's at $79.99. I did do an unboxing video and a blog post on that, so you can check that out on the YouTube channel or at the website. Haven't really messed around with it. I got to pick up a welding mask and some gloves and some metal to mess around with. And I'm excited to do that. I did quite a bit of welding back in the day when I was in maintenance jobs and things like that. I always enjoyed it. But I haven't in quite a while, so it'll be fun to get back into that, get my skill back up, and I have a few things that I'm looking forward to building and to fabricating. So in the future, other than that, I think I got a full face respirator that somebody was just like randomly reached out on Instagram and asked to send it out. So if you're looking for a full face respirator, I'll be doing a review on those. And I think that's about the list right now. 64th rod. So I'm excited to review those two solar products. Those were the two things I was really geeked out about, and I think they'll come in handy in the near future for us for sure. Let's see. So that was the GoFundMe. Just real quick. Last week I kind of went on a little bit of a rant. Two. One was about the cops here locally and them overreacting to whatever was going on. I don't really care if the guy had a machine gun and was wearing the face of one of his former victims, driving around in his little Suzuki Sidekick. I don't think it took 5 cop cars, a K9 unit, and 7 cops blocking traffic and all the bullshit. So that was one thing that I did a little rant on. And the other thing I've been stewing on quite a bit, and now kind of finally boiled over, was all the bullshit fundraisers that have been going on, and a lot recently. Where the absolute dirtballs doing shit, dropping N-bombs or being blatantly assholes, and then and raising shitloads of money because of it, whether it be for legal defense or whatever they come up with, whatever reason, people are actually donating money to these scumbags. And so I just thought I'd do a little social experiment. It didn't take a whole lot of time. It took a couple hours to put this together. But I put a GoFundMe together, tongue in cheek, help me go viral for not being an idiot. The ask there is $1 and a share. I didn't think it would do anything. I shared it a little bit. I was seeing what would happen. Got a ton of spam messages on LinkedIn when I posted it, a bunch of shares from a bunch of bots. And I figured that's what it was going to happen. I didn't expect anything to come of it. But then all of a sudden I got a $5 donation. So it did 5x what I thought it would for sure. I guess more than 5x because 5x of 0 is still 0. I didn't know if I was going to get anything. I dropped the link in the comments. It's down in the video description and the audio description. You can go check it out. If you'd share it, that'd be cool. I mean, I'm not going to give the money back if people want to donate. It'll probably go towards our cabin. It'll go towards whatever, however much comes in, will definitely be put to good use. But yeah, a buck and a share. And the funny part is, no shares. Oh, I shouldn't say no shares. A couple people have shared it. I should say a couple people have shared it. So maybe I should just go be an idiot and start dropping N bombs and then it disappear into the woods. But yeah, it was a little bit of a social experiment. We'll see what happens with it. I never really expected anything much of it, but you never know. You never know. And like I said, it took a couple of minutes to put up. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Other thing I got going on for sponsors, the Blockstream Jade or the Jade Plus. Not your keys, not your coins. Not your keys, not your coins. There's a little bit of a kerfuffle going on with Bitcoin right now. Some folks think that Satoshi's being a wait a second. I'll talk about Blockstream Jade in a second. Hunter says if you sold a square feet delinquent sculpture, I wonder how much you could make. Kind of like those castle things. I don't know what you're talking about. Pip says stupider sells, unfortunately. Right? And that's what I was like, you know what? Give people an option to give to somebody just because they're a decent person and like to help people, and we'll see what happens. And obviously that is that's not, or donating to people that just don't need it. I mean, weird. I'm not sure what he's talking about, these castle things and square feet delinquent sculpts. Allergies and voice to text suck. Yeah, allergies I got right now, guys. My throat is burning. I can't believe I haven't sneezed the whole show. I tried to get over it before I went live, but yeah. Anyway, Blockstream Jade and Jade Plus hardware wallets. I got my Jade Plus right here. Cool metal case and no more wheel on the side. The Jade is still a solid option. The Jade Plus with its big screen and advanced options is a little nicer and a little more expensive. But the Jade and Jade Plus securely store your private keys for your Bitcoin. Don't keep it on exchanges. The other day, I saw that Coinbase got their info hacked or some shit. I don't know. I didn't even read the article because I don't deal with Coinbase anymore. But get your shit off the exchanges. Get your shit out of. If you're holding a significant amount of Bitcoin, definitely get a hardware wallet, whether it's the Jade Plus, the Ledger, the whatever cold card. I sell Jade Plus. I appreciate it if you use my link or discount code the Lots Project to get yourself 10% off at the link at the Blockstream store. But just get one. The price of Bitcoin's about ready to go up, guys. It's been hovering here right next to the all-time high. We're getting ready to pop. So your wallet value is going to start increasing significantly, and be ready for that. Be ready. Have your keys stored in your hardware wallet. Just that's all I can say. Take care of it. Before you get hacked and you go, Well, I didn't know. Well, I'm telling you right now. Get your coins off the exchange. If nothing else, get it into a software wallet. Exodus is easy to use. Blockstream Green is easy to use. There's several other options. You can go to thelotsproject.com and go under resources and go to Bitcoin resources. There's all sorts of beginner Bitcoin stuff there. But yeah, don't wait. The price is going to jump, and all of a sudden, everybody's going to freak out. Like I was mentioning before, there is a little bit of a controversy going on right now in the Bitcoin space, whether we need to change the terminology. We, as in Bitcoiners collectively, need to change the terminology because Satoshi or Sats being 1/100 millionth of a Bitcoin is too confusing. They want to change some verbiage. I don't know if it'll ever happen. I don't think it really needs to happen. I think if you are going to learn a new system, if you're going to be educated enough to participate, it's a very easy concept to understand. I don't think it needs to change at all. I'm pretty sure that everybody's been functioning okay as it has been. So pick up Blockstream Jade or Jade Plus. The LOTS project, the LOTS project will get you 10% off at the link. And I don't even have the link in the notes here. But yeah, Hunter says biddies. Yeah, whatever. I look at it and say, how did anybody ever contemplate and figure out that a penny was a hundredth of a dollar? Yeah. I think it's nonsense. It's nonsense. For years and years and years, it's been working fine, and I don't understand the need to change it now. I think people figure it out just fine. So, if you can't figure that out, maybe you don't have the brain power to participate. Anyway, last few minutes here, let's talk about the table and the truck. It's been kind of a common theme the last few weeks on the show. Truck update. Truck's running great, guys. Knock on wood. Here, I got my wooden desk. Truck is running great, and I think I figured out what happened. Last Monday, I was doing laundry, and so I took the time that I was doing laundry and kind of deep dove into the scan tool that I had and all the other functionality. I really had known, how to clear the check engine light, how to read the codes, what code was coming up, and a few other things. I dove more into the live data feeds, the clearing deeper codes, clearing deeper memories and things like that. And what I think it turned out was my long-term trim. I had driven the truck with the fouled plugs, the shitty injector, the stuck injector, whatever was going on. I think there were multiple issues going on. We had driven it long enough with that through necessity that the long-term trim had adjusted to the shitty state. I went in and adjusted some things in the computer module. After looking at the live data and seeing the long-term trim and the short-term trim and using ChatGPT and some other things, I was able to do a little diagnosis and kind of came to this conclusion. And once I cleared out reset the long-term trim, basically what that is it compensates the amount of fuel going into the cylinder. So the short-term trim is an immediate response. This is the condition right now. The long-term trim is more of a standard setting that's is an overall condition. So it had adjusted to the fouled plugs, the bad conditions, the wrong conditions. So off the top, it was compensating for all of this. And then the short-term trim was trying to adjust on top of that to the present conditions. Once I reset that long-term trim and let it just reset and reacclimate to the current conditions, which now it has new plugs, new wires, new coil packs. I think it's had 3 injector cleaners run through it, and now is on the first full tank of non-treated fuel. I think things are good. It's been a week now. Yeah, it's Monday. It's been a week and haven't had any issues. It's run really smooth. No check engine lights, no chugging, no problems yet. I'm sure I'll go to drive to get my coffee today and it'll go sideways. But I think that was the issue. It had acclimated itself to shitty conditions enough that once the conditions cleared up, it didn't know how to react. So hard reset, turn it off, turn it back on again, like Jim says over in Noster. It seemed to have worked. So for now, not taking it back in, and hopefully that is good. Table update. Table's done. Benches are still in works, but table's done. We got that finished up. Couple of rounds of stain on it, a round of spar urethane for outside protection. Since this is going to be ours, we're going to keep it outside. It's going to be an outside picnic table. We wanted to get that spar urethane on it to protect against UV and water and all sorts of stuff. Pip says he was scratching his head on what the problem was with my truck. Next thing I was going to do go on the truck was injector. I had a feeling that it was a clogged injector or an injector stuck open. That's why I went down the trim route, and it seemed to lead to the proper answer. So that was good. But yeah, so we got the urethane on it. That was last night, I believe. Yesterday evening, that coat of clear poly was done, was cured, and we left it out last night. And sure as shit, it rained. And it looked like when I went out this morning that it had beat it up. It sealed fine. So the table is done. Benches are in progress. The 2 long benches, we got one that's ready for stain. Another one is being sanded, and then on top of that, we ended up using scrap to make 2 small benches for either end of the table. So table is, I think, 6 foot by 3 foot-ish. 2 long benches were in the plans, what the plans that we used to build it. So those got done, and then with the scrap, we were like, well, why don't we do 2 more end benches? Especially since it's going to be for us, and we can always use an extra little bench. So we used the scrap and threw those together. So lots of sanding left. We picked up another palm sander from Lowe's. The 2 that I picked up from Harbor Freight were junk, and they were causing more issues than good on the sanding of the product, and it was weird. They just, I don't know. The one that we bought for the same price over at Lowe's was so much better. So we picked up another one of those, and Corey and I are working our way on the sanding the benches. We're going to get those stained up and sealed, and then that project will be done. We're going to switch up a little bit on the design for the next table, and we plan on selling that one hopefully when we build it. If not, then we'll have 2 tables until it sells. But we're gonna build up another table. We're going to build also, we have on the plans to put together at least 1 child-sized picnic table and see if we can sell one of those. Found a couple different plans for that. I think we found one that we settled on that is pretty straightforward and inexpensive to put together, and hopefully sell it for a decent turnaround on the money, and start seeing if we can sell these things, since Corey has decided, and I've always liked building stuff, and Corey's really gotten into it since we started messing around with this table, and So we're going to see what we can do. Basically, sell anything we sell is going to go right back into tools and supplies to build more and better projects going forward. So excited about that, and excited to be working with her on things like this, and eventually, hopefully, doing it at least part time, and work together with her has always been the goal. So, other than that, guys, we're up in an hour. I appreciate you all hanging out, and hopefully I can get some time to jump on the show app and figure out what's going on with the Noster feed and the Zap.stream feed. Sounds like it goes through sometimes and is choppy, the signal. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We were freezing up on the regular feed too today. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the show. If you could, like I said, head over to thelotsproject.com anytime you're going to be shopping on Amazon. Hit that banner and start your shopping there. Otherwise, you can share the show, share the GoFundMe link, use the affiliate links. All of it helps scratch our way to being successful in all of this. So I appreciate you watching, and hopefully you have an awesome week, and we will catch up with you again next Monday.